All right. The green box says that we are live, so I guess we are. I've been having a weird time getting my camera to focus tonight, which is weird. I am here alone for just a few minutes. She said like 3 minutes, Lisa did. So hopefully everything will be copacetic. Let me all know there. Okay, now the chat's going crazy, so it must be that I'm live. Let me make sure here. I wish there was a way to know without having to say, hey, give me a sound check, give me an audio video check and all this. I wish there was just a way to know with it being very fast, but I don't know. It is what it is. The dislikes were here as soon as the topic was posted. Yeah. So yeah, folks, welcome to YouTube in 2019. That's kind of the story, you know? I mean, you have to expect it. You know that it's going to be there going in, and it is what it is. So, got a lot of stuff planned here for you tonight. I had a topic for tonight that I was going to do that I had to scrap, and it wasn't because of potential controversy. You know me better than that. It was because of something Corey said last night. Now, this is not anything to do with Corey. Corey's my guy. He knows that, and so do you. But I was watching his stream last night, like I always do. Rena is right here on the desk, right here. He will not leave me alone. I verified yesterday. He is indeed a he. There's no doubt now. But anyway, I was watching Corey's stream last night, like I always do. And if you don't watch his stream, first of all, I don't believe you because he gets like 1,000 people watching. Now you're going to bite me. I watch his stream every Wednesday, and he was talking about all kinds of stuff. And how did he say it? What was he talking about? See, now I'm completely losing my train of thought. Oh, he was talking about like, not clickbait, but like hot button, almost clickbait type topics. And one of the ones that he brought up was wild caught fish. I had planned on talking about wild caught fish today. And so I was like, well, you know what? Not going to talk about wild caught fish the night after he said people who talk about wild caught fish are, basically trying to get clicks. Which he didn't say that in a bad way. It's not like Corey was causing his own controversy. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, I just felt like maybe the night after he said that might not be appropriate to talk about wild caught fish. So we'll do that next week. I don't think that my view on wild caught fish, and Lisa and I share the same view on it. I don't think it's controversial. I think it's fine. It's this, we do things the same way that I wish everybody would do things. We might disagree, but if we do, that's okay. We can still be friends. We don't have to agree on everything. So I don't think I'm going to light the internet on fire when we talk about that next week, but I am looking forward to it. I was at work and missed Corey's. Yeah, his, did he make it private? Yeah, I mean, he titled it Rant, and he talked about some pretty hot topics yesterday. But I don't think he talked about anything that would have been anything close to controversial. I mean, it shouldn't have been anyway, but it is what it is. So I think the boss is coming in right now, so we can actually get things going. But I was going to get things going without her, but your vid on monsterfish, John, made a great point about wild-caught monsterfish. Yeah, and that's kind of where I stand on it. I mean, I don't want to get into it all because that'll spoil next week's topic. But that's where I am with it. It's like, if you do that, I don't think you're a bad person, but I personally don't choose to do that. So anyway, but we'll get more into that next week. I was just telling them we had to scrap the topic for today because we didn't want Corey to think we were jumping on something because he was talking about it. Let's get us both. She's getting situated still, but you're on camera, just so you know.
Hey.
So let me get to my thing here. Okay. So now Rena is going to be with you.
Hi, Rena.
I'm gonna get used to calling him he. He's been like all over me tonight.
Crazy cat.
So, okay. Since you're still getting situated, I will go with what's going on. The edge of the tablet is in the screen, and you might not like that. A little bit more. Let's see. We have to do these things on the fly if she is late. She just got back from a field hockey game. There we go. You're good. Okay, so
what a night.
What's going on? You want me to take what's going on first?
Sure.
The topic of today's live stream is going to one of my what's going on bits that we're going to talk about here tonight is in the title of this video because I had something happen that was unfortunate. But before we get into that, some happy things before that. If you haven't noticed, you should by now. The lighting on Lisa's tank is night and day, and it is literally night and day. I verified this. I went to last week's live stream, and I watched it, and then I clicked on this one, and I was like, oh boy,
wow.
That is a huge difference. We got the new current lights on there. If you watched yesterday's video, you saw them already, but they are spectacular. Those discus are super happy. Everything is wonderful in there. That's really the only addition to the fish room that we've had this week. And that's a big one. I mean, 2 6-foot-long lights, that's a pretty big addition to the fish room. So really excited about those. I recorded the first half of the video for that, which was just kind of like an intro. And then the time lapse of me installing the lights. I do have to record the closing part of it, the actual review, how I feel about the lights. Spoiler, I love them.
Come on.
So, but yeah, that'll be coming out Wednesday. And I don't know if we're going to be able to keep up with this 3 video a week schedule. We've been saying we were going to have a business meeting about that, and we haven't done it yet. But the 3 video per week schedule, I don't know if we're getting kind of an oversaturation type thing or if it's too much of John and Lisa. But the idea was Sundays we do 10 things together, which actually last week was all me, but that was planned. Because
there will be one of just me in the future, but I'm not going to say what it is yet.
Right. Yes, that's going to be a big one. Yeah, we don't know how everything's going to line up, so we can't even say what that topic's going to be yet. But yeah, the plan was that I was going to have the whole episode of 10 things for monster fish, and then you were going to do one, but time didn't work out that way. So we had to push that, and so we're going to be recording 10 things last minute. But 10 things on Sundays, a video from me on Wednesdays, a project video, a review video, a video about a particular fish, whatever. And then your video on Saturday or whatever day we find is better than Saturday, because I don't think Saturday is a good day to upload.
I like Saturdays.
And well, why does it matter to you? I mean, but then we have the streams on Thursday. So that's 4 pieces of content from us each week. I don't know if that's too much. I think it might be too much. Of course, you beautiful people that are in the chat right now, you're going to say, no, that's not too much. That's fine, because you all are beautiful people and you are followers of us and you are crazy enough to sit on a Thursday night and watch the 2 of us talk about fish. So I believe you when you say that it wouldn't be too much, but I think it might be too much. I think 3 is probably the magic number. So maybe 10 things plus 1 additional video plus the stream. And that'll allow us to get a little bit of a backlog too. But we still have not made that decision yet. So there you go. Now, as far as what's going on, again, there's the lights. There is the talk about the videos. And then there's another thing that we have not yet been able to have a meeting about. It's been a crazy week, just like every week is.
It's been very crazy.
Corey did something genius on Saturday for his members. Mm-hmm. He did a live stream, just like we're doing now, that was accessible to everyone, but only members could comment. Only members could participate in the chat. Mm. I thought that was a really cool idea. I don't know how everyone else, I don't know how you, the members, would feel about that. Would you feel cheated if we did something like that? I'm not talking about doing that on the Thursday night streams. I'm talking about if we were to do that like every other weekend, because that's when we try to do the members only live streams. Would the members feel slighted if we did that? It makes it accessible to everybody, but only the cool people that are channel members can actually comment, participate in the chat. And I think that might even be super chat too. So, we'd be making, it's not like we'd be doing it for more money. I'll have to clarify that, but I'm pretty sure that nobody can even super chat during that. So it's not a money thing. It's not like, oh, well, I think we should have it accessible to everybody so that we can get super chats. No, because they wouldn't even be able to do it. The only people that would be able to super chat would be members, which y'all are super chatting every month. So there's no reason to super chat. So don't expect those in.
It's hot in here. Can you turn the AC on?
I just turned it off because I thought it was going to be too loud. Yeah. So, but anyway, I thought about doing that. It doesn't make a difference to me. Q Aquatics says, I thought that was a great idea. Corey Chat was different. Yeah, people are saying it's positive. I mean, there you go. I mean, it's not like, it's not naughty or dirty or anything like that. I texted him afterwards. I said, dude, that was genius, what you just did. And he was like, and it sounds like you all are fine with that. So that's pretty cool. There are a couple of super chats. I didn't miss, I saw it, but our friend Chris from Multi-Tank Addiction came in with the $2 super chat. He wants to throw us beautiful artwork and money every week. I don't know what we did to impress this guy, but he is, somebody commented, more Lisa, less John. I could not agree more. I think that we need a lot more of that. But Jamie Fife said, I love my Thursday nights with you guys, and came in with the $2. That is very, very sweet of you. I see yellow. King and Queens. Oh, shocker. King and Queens.
Give me a fan.
Comes in with the super chat. Get Lisa a fan. She's got thousands of fans all over the world.
Oh, please.
And then Multi-Tank Addiction again. See, this is going to become a problem, folks. We're not going to be able to get into the content here tonight if we're constantly having to, oh my goodness, stop for the super chats. But no, I'm joking. We appreciate every single one. That's very, very generous of you. Scott and Liz and Chris, once again.
Thank you.
You all spoil us, and I don't even know why you do it. So, all right. The last thing that for me, for what's going on, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, because your what's going on is the big one. That's the big story for this stream, I believe. I believe that you do know what you're talking about tonight, right? She wanted to make a whole video about this.
Because I thought it was kind of interesting, you know?
It absolutely is. I couldn't agree more. But the way...
It's very odd.
We're not Casey Neistat. You didn't pull out your camera and film this event. No. If you had, that would have been totally different. We could have done a video.
That would have been weird. I couldn't do that because it would have wasted time. So.
Exactly. And you'll understand when we tell the story here in a minute, when she tells the story. But so to do a video on that, you would just be basically Lisa sitting in front of an aquarium telling the story. And so I'm like, well, if that's what it's going to be, we might as well talk about it on the stream, since Corey took our topic away from us. Allie Patton with the $20. She gets to stay up in a nice bright orange up there on top of the screen for like
Allie.
20 minutes. And Kaylor's Aquatics, great topics posted tonight. We are just getting started, Bob.
Thank
you have no idea. Wait till you hear her story. It's a good one, a real good one.
But first, I want to do a shout out to my daughter.
Oh.
She's done amazing this week. Tuesday they won. That was great. She got 2 assists, which is good. You know, she kind of like beat herself up over that because she's like, I should have got the goals. But, you know, assists are good too. Tonight she got a goal, took them into overtime, and they won. She's the lead goal scorer for her team right now. And then on top of that today, got a letter from a school or a college in Jacksonville, Florida. Her athletic director hand delivered it to her about wanting her to go to softball camp for them because they want to meet her. So I'm like, really? We're into field hockey right now. But anyways, just super proud of her for that. And I wanted to give her a little shout out.
You absolutely should. Very, very good. So, okay, let me get into my story here. And it's not really much of a story. This is probably the biggest event that happened for me over the last week, aside from installing those absolutely gorgeous lights that you see behind Marie there. What was it? Was it Saturday or Sunday when this happened with the Severum?
Oh.
It was either Saturday or Sunday. Who cares?
It was Sunday.
So the weekends, and every day goes pretty much the same for me. I come out here, I feed my 2 tanks, and she feeds her tanks. That's just the way it works. Mm-hmm. And that day, either Saturday or Sunday, started no differently. I think it was, who cares? So I came out, and I fed the fish. I fed with the Africans, it's literally throw a handful of food in there, and it's gone within 12 seconds. There's nothing really to watch unless you enjoy watching fish flop around and all that kind of stuff. With the 360, it is throw the food in and watch and make sure, because the Oscars are going to try to take it all. Mm-hmm. But the arowanas also, they get their share. But the main thing is that I want to watch and make sure the Severums get food, because they have teeny tiny mouths. The Oscars will fill their mouths up to where they've got food just coming out of their mouths. It's actually pretty comical. And the arowanas will graze the top, and they'll just, eat one at a time, and it's fun to watch. I watch it every single day. And that day, everything was completely fine. Totally normal. The Severums, basically, they get like the crumbs and stuff like that fall down because their mouths are so small. They can't take these big pieces of shrimp. And then once a day, I will throw little 1 millimeter pellets in for them also. So fed in the morning, everything was completely normal. Everything was fine. All 3 of them were normal. Come out here later on that day, probably like 4 o'clock. You and I were out here messing around. It might have even been the same day I put those lights in. It doesn't matter. We were out here doing something, and one of the Severums was up in the top of the tank, a little bit sideways, not gasping for air at the top, but just obviously wrong. There was something wrong with this fish. He was breathing heavy. He was sitting kind of cockeyed at the top of the tank. He, she, I don't know. And both of us were like, what happened there? I mean, and within 2 hours, that fish was dead. It was one of those things that 1 minute the fish is fine, the next minute it's not.
I put him in a breeder box to make sure the other fish weren't getting to him, just to be on the safe side.
But they weren't anyway. I mean, the fish didn't even have a mark on them at all.
Yeah, but we weren't watching the fish like that to see what was happening. You don't know. I mean, one of the arowanas could have gone into him really fast, or the
Blame the
Oscar,
arowanas.
or they could have headbutted. I don't know, but
you're absolutely right. But the fish didn't have a mark on them, so you kind of you check a box next to it wasn't aggression. You kind of you think.
You can't always see a concussion, though. I'm
That's
just
very
saying,
true.
you cannot always see a concussion.
Something kind of similar happened in this tank. No, it's not similar at all. But we had a sudden fish death in this tank, too. It was our Angara flametail. I think in the video I said it was a Regal Blue. They look almost identical. We had an Angara flametail in here that was beautiful. Again, everything's completely fine. Everything's completely normal. The next day, it happened overnight. The next day we come out here, the fish is dead on the substrate with the pleco on top of it, just going to town. And the reason why I bring this up, first of all, Scott, who I'm hoping is still with us. Thank you, Mark Hill, by the way, as if you don't support us enough. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Very nice of you. Scott's probably already commented on this because I've heard him talk about it in his stream. Unfortunately, when you live your life on YouTube, when you do this hobby on YouTube, when things happen, people are like, hey, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. It's not like we could just hide the fact that We used to have 3 Severums, and now we have 2.
Exactly.
It would be one thing if 3 or 4 of those zebra danios that are in that 125 died. You wouldn't even notice. I mean, I don't think anybody's watching our videos and counting the amount of fish that are in there.
I don't know. Somebody did see that there was one
That's true.
different fish in the my rosy. Well, no, what the heck?
Rummy nose.
Rummy nose. Ooh, brain toot. But yeah, somebody noticed there was a different fish in my rummy nose.
I think it's an ember tetra. I think is what it is.
The thing is, I didn't even notice that, and that's my tank. I had no idea. No idea that I had a different fish in there because he really did try to blend in.
Yep, and he acts just like the rummy nose. He schools around with them, so he's going to stay with them. Why not?
Mm-hmm. No,
thank you.
He's
yes, he will.
not going in with my discus.
Sure, he will.
No,
he's one
not.
of the crowd.
He's not going in with my discus.
Jacob Richardson, thank you so much. A few dollars for the loss of the Severum. Thank you.
Aww.
Thank you very much. We've already gotten enough in super chats tonight to replace that Severum. I think that fish was $20 or $25, I think. But again, with the Angara in here, everything's completely normal, and the next day it's not. The Severum in here, everything's normal, and then several hours later, it's not. Fish death, especially for either of these tanks, these are my pets, and I adore these fish just like maybe not to the same level as the dogs, but you know what I'm saying. These are my pets in here, and a loss is a loss. It hurts for sure. I'm certainly more desensitized to it than I used to be in the past because we've had thousands of fish and I've been at this for a long time. And so anybody that deals with something like this, if you're new to the hobby or you haven't been in the hobby very long, it's probably going to hit you harder than it would me because I've experienced it so much over 25 years of doing this. But it still, of course, hurts. And you still ask the question, why? What happened? And I get so many messages. It's almost constant messages of people. They'll email me and they'll say, John, I have 12 guppies and all of a sudden 3 of them died. Why'd they die? I'm like, what? How am I supposed to know? And I don't respond to those only because I don't like giving advice on health-related stuff because then if the fish dies, they come back and they blame me. I've never had anybody come back and blame me, but I'm terrified in this world that we live in right now that would happen. So I kind of stay away from those. I did get an email. I don't know if she's in here or not, but I got an email from a fellow YouTuber last week asking about something, and I did respond to that one, but I didn't have a whole lot to offer. But anyway, these kind of things are going to happen. And, you know, I have to assess when things like this happen. You just kind of step back and you have to assess it. And I say, okay, these 2 tanks are very well kept. They're heavily filtered. The filters are clean. The fish are healthy. I'm giving them very, very good food. I'm doing my job. Is it perfect? No, there's no such thing. But it's as close to perfect as what I'm able to do. And you can do everything right, and you can still lose fish. It sucks. It's part of the hobby. It just happens. And sometimes, I mean, we had people at the fish store that would come in, and they would be months trying to analyze why one of their fish died.
I mean, it's no different than people. Not everybody lives to be 90 years old. Things happen in life.
We had just last year a 16-year-old basketball player during a game drop. Yeah. Now, he died later that night, but he dropped playing basketball, didn't fall and hit his head. He had a seizure. This is an athlete. This is a kid that...
He had a heart condition in that they had not diagnosed, and that's why that happened. And 2 months later, the high school in the next county over from us, the exact same thing happened to another boy that age. So it's like...
It's the Hank Gathers.
Doesn't matter how old you are. Things happen to people. It's sad.
It's the Hank Gathers story. You don't know this story, but Hank Gathers was he was up at the same level at the time as like a Len Bias and a Michael Jordan in college, was gonna be the next big star, dropped, and he died on the basketball court from probably a similar heart condition. These are athletes. These are machines, these people. You hear about marathon runners that drop dead at 40 years old of some crazy thing that happens to them. But yet Keith Richards has been dead for 42 years, but he's still walking around and he's still touring with the Rolling Stones, and he's abused himself his entire life. He is the walking dead. He's still kicking around, but you get a 16-year-old basketball player drop dead on the basketball court.
That's why I am so strict about making sure Kenzie stays hydrated for games, making sure if you feel any kind of weird, you get taken out of that game, because you just never know.
You never know.
You just don't know.
And you know what? With fish, it's the same thing.
Way, yeah.
Scott said you're showing your age. You don't have to be old to know who Hank Gathers is. Come on. Len Bias, Michael Jordan. Who doesn't? Come on. Come on, Scott. And don't, you, till the day we both die, you will always be older than me. So don't forget that. But
here we go.
Hank Gathers was, that was late 80s, early 90s, I think. You don't have to be old to know who that guy is. But anyway, these kind of things can happen. And I'm not trying to poo-poo it and say, your fish died, who cares? I'm not trying to say that. What I am saying is you can do everything right and things can still happen. And it sucks, but it's part of the hobby. And using those human analogies, Hank Gathers and Keith Richards, The Walking Dead, and all of these stories that we've told, they're analogoric? How do you say that? It doesn't matter. But they are similar things. I know humans and fish, we're a little different, but it's the same kind of thing. Sometimes things happen and you just don't.
Yeah, well,
You don't know.
unfortunately, fish can't say, hey, I don't feel good. Can you take me to the doctor or maybe to the emergency room? So you just have to watch your fish, pay attention to them, and hopefully notice when something's not right and try to do what you can. Sometimes it's too late. You can't always see things like you do ick. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, and that's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up, because if you do see something and you don't react and you don't try to cure your fish of whatever it is, and you just get lazy and the fish dies, well, then you should absolutely feel bad about that, because you had that fish's life in your hands and you let it go. But when everything is good and you're doing everything you can to do everything right, and a fish drops dead, I mean, you can't really beat yourself up for that, can you? I mean, you put a guppy in with an Oscar, you can't be upset if the Oscar eats the guppy. Mm-hmm. I mean, common sense things you can beat yourself up over, but if you do everything you can do and things still break bad, you know, I mean, don't beat yourself up for it. Allie Patton brings up a good point. George Burns lived forever smoking, drinking, and womanizing his whole life. It's always weird talking about exes with your current, but my ex-father-in-law was a very, very dear person in my life, a very important man to me. My father passed when I was 23, and he kind of took over that role, and it was nice. He dropped dead 59 of a heart attack, and his wife, who is basically the female Keith Richards, smoking, drinking, abusing herself her whole life. She's like in her mid 80s now and still kicking around like normal. It's just, I love the woman. Don't misunderstand me, but I'm saying it's weird that this kind of thing happens in human beings. These people that abuse themselves live to be 184 years old, like Keith Richards. And all of the Rolling Stones, actually. I don't know why I keep singling out him.
Maybe you need to put like a shot of vodka in there for the fish so they
never
live
know.
longer.
You never know. I mean, it's true. But anyway, you know, it's unfortunate. I was very sad that happened, because I love those gold Severums. I beat myself up for a minute, like, were they too small to be in with the arowanas? The Oscars are growing so fast. Did they, but I don't think it's not like the arowana ate the Severum. The arowanas, they don't even mess with the Severums. So I think it was just a shocking thing it was just one of those things. It was Hank Gathers. That's what it was. and it sucks, but you move on and you say, hey, you know what? I don't even know that there's a lesson to be learned there, because what's the lesson? Your fish might die anyway. Thanks again to Mark Hill. As if the guy doesn't support us enough, throws another $10 at us, and then we have Todd Snake comes in with the $20 super chat. Wow, these people are spoiling us tonight for mystery fish for Lisa. Always enjoy your videos.
I
and live
already
streams.
have the mystery fish, by the way.
She does.
They are in quarantine. They will be going in this tank this weekend, but I'm not going to do a video on it because I already have. Saturday is going to be the planting of this aquarium. Next Saturday will be what worked and what didn't work as far as what I planted. So the following week will be the reveal with the mystery fish. So you will not see this tank behind me in the live streams for 2 weeks.
It'll be like that somehow. We're going to do it like that somehow.
Or completely cover it or something, but you will not see it. But I think it's time. I'm ready, I think. So yeah.
Chris just like, he's like, every time I want to say something in the chat, I'm going to attach $2 to it to make
For
sure
John
that
to
they
get
see
a third tank. Are you kidding me? He doesn't need a third tank. I need another tank.
You know,
Just kidding. I'm totally joking.
I don't even know where, I mean, if I was to get another tank, I would want another big one, because I would want to do probably angels or fill it full of severums, something like that. I would want another big one.
You know
and
what
I don't
we
know where
need?
we'd
You
put
know what we need one for? The guppies. We need like a 300-gallon
Yeah.
tank for guppies.
That's right. Yep.
I've got so many guppy babies. I just decided they're Rena's guppies. I call it Rena's tank, and I went and bought 10 guppies at Petco, and now I have like
750.
I don't know. I mean,
It's
geez.
bananas what's happening in that
It's
tank.
crazy. I've never seen that happen so drastic. When we had the fish store, I would take the guppy babies and I'd stick them in a 75-gallon, grow them out, and then sell them. You know, it was kind of fun breeding our own guppies and doing that. But, geez, those would have. We could have had a guppy store.
Yeah, we could have made a living just on that,
Just on
that
guppies.
10-gallon
We could
tank
have had
right
a
there.
fish store called Guppies.
Guppies,
Crazy.
endlers, white clouds, which those that white clouds aren't breeding at all, but
They
maybe
might be. I have a beta in there,
the
so
beta
it
might be taking
be
care of the
eating 'em.
population control in there. But
I
yeah,
have a beta
definitely.
in like every tank I own, practically.
But y'all can keep guessing. I think we ought to figure out a way to.
I am going to say one thing,
But
though,
I'm not
'cause
done
somebody-
saying what I wanted to
but
say.
I
We
want-
should show the members what's going on in that tank before everyone else. We should have that be a members-only video, comes up first.
It's going to come up
of
that
that.
Saturday, probably while
But
we're
I'm
at
saying,
AquaShella.
like, when we put it in this weekend, we can tell. I said it.
No.
It's not one fish.
That's 2 weeks that it could get rotated around, and I don't want
It's not gonna get rotated around. Are you
Nope.
crazy? I'll explain how this works later. It's when it's for members only. It's members only. That's
People talk.
yeah, sure. But you know what? They're members. They're special people. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, I kind of went off there.
I agree.
But
I agree
what did you
with-
want to say?
Flowers. No, let's all see it at the same time. And I agree. I want to do it all at the same time. Because I've built this up for everybody, the anticipation. I think it's only fair for everybody to see
Well, of
it.
course he's going to say that because he's not a member.
But that's okay.
Everybody's going to get to see those fish, and they're going to get to see them every single week when they're in there. But we just
Okay,
have to
let's
wait.
move on. So,
Yeah. What were you going to say?
somebody did try to guess, but I want to let them know they're wrong. And the only reason why I want to let them know they're wrong is because it's a planet tank. So no, it's not going to be in Bunas.
In Bunas? No.
No.
Hey, look, it worked. We start talking about that, and we get a new member. Monica. Well, you've got the little symbol. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm going to call you Monica, like Monica on Friends. Welcome, to the team. It's already a bit overbalanced over there. If I didn't know better, I would think Lisa is the hobbyist and John just has to. Well, you know what, Chris? It's unfortunate because they're all her tanks. I set them all up. I don't maintain them. She does.
Wait a minute. Rack, you're in here. Does John set up all the tanks?
Oh, you set up one tank, for crying out loud. All of the other ones, you set up that one.
And all of those.
You didn't set up all of. Are you crazy? No,
Yes,
I did.
Okay.
Anyway.
Do you want me to embarrass you on here?
No, you do already. But no, I mean, but you maintain them, and I've given you mine too, which you take care of those too, which is nice. And so yeah, she does. She hits the majority of them, but that's okay because these two are the boldest ones. So
Priscilla's a member. I thought she already was, but you know what? That's okay because Priscilla's my daughter. Right,
Priscilla, we're going to see her. You're going to be at AquaShella, right? I mean, it's an art festival. You have to be there.
She's going to be there.
Okay, good. Yeah, welcome to the team, Priscilla. That's exciting. And you're going to see your picture up here somewhere soon. I don't know why we haven't done it yet.
We've got a
we
lot
should
of
wait
pictures
for
to
the
put
pictures
up.
from Chris because he's sending pictures. Chris from Multi-Tank Addiction has been doing those on his live streams. They're absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to get them. They are amazing. If you haven't watched his live stream of doing the artwork, he did her discus picture 2 days ago on the stream, and then he just did 2 weeks ago did mine.
It's a beautiful discus too. Thank you so much. I can't wait.
It is.
I love it.
Allie Patton, shame on you. I thought we were friends. You sent me a Deadpool. On the topic of people sending stuff. Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you, Allie, because you're one of those people that sent something. We do have to bring up something that happened yesterday.
Oh, do you have the letter?
No, I'm not going to read the letter because that's a personal thing.
Oh, yes.
So last week on the live stream, and then after this, you're talking about your thing because
My drama.
yeah, your story. So last week I showed you the John Hudson bobblehead, which is my new prized possession. Forget about these tanks. Forget it. That's the prized possession right there. I am a nerd bobblehead collector. If you want to see my entire collection, look at the video that I just put up yesterday. But Jose Fernandez sent me that bobblehead made of me. Out of the blue, no clue. We didn't even actually know it was, well, no, we knew it was there. We hadn't gotten back to get it. And he was actually commenting on our videos, y'all need to go pick up your package because it had been there for a few days. But immediately last week when I started showing that, people started commenting, where's Lisa's bobblehead? Don't get too excited. I'm not going to get ready to hold up a Lisa bobblehead. But I guess Jose heard people talking about that or saw people talking about that. And so what he did, he sent me a really nice letter that said, hey, I mean, to sum it up, like, hey, I went through the ringer to get this bobblehead made for you because I had to go back and forth. And he was doing it, you know, in the dark. Like, it's not like he could have messaged me and said, hey, John, send me pictures of yourself. I'd have been like, what? So I don't know how he did it. It's perfect. It looks so much like me. He must have just screenshotted from videos. And he was basically in this letter, he was like, I'm not going to go through that again with Lisa. So here's a check. Get it done yourself. So
crazy. I was
he
like,
sent us
wow.
the money to get a bobblehead made for Lisa.
That's so funny.
There will be, and it's going to say Lisa Marie.
If I get to choose, I'm going to be like, okay, so if John gets to look skinny as his bobblehead, I'm going to be stacked. I'm going to have a skinny little stomach. I'm going to have a bubble butt. I'm going to be looking fine. My bobblehead is going to look amazing. I just want you to know that. There you go.
I mean, okie dokie, whatever you say. They did have one that's perfect for you, though. We saw it yesterday, and the standard head almost looks like you.
With the ponytail.
Yeah,
I saw that.
But anyway, so yeah, that's going to get ordered, and then we're going to get that sent in here. And of course, when we get it, you will all see it. Lisa will be here in bobblehead form, and that'll be exciting. So, amazingbobbleheads.com is where he got that done.
It's going to be fun.
King and Queens, once again, I second the embarrass. John reminds me of Liz and I. Hey, believe me, brother, she could tell some stories that would embarrass me. But the problem is, I don't embarrass easy.
Yeah.
I really don't. So, you know what? She can tell whatever stories she wants, and it wouldn't embarrass me at all. So, all right, it's time for you to tell your story that happened.
My eyes are burning.
Get ready for it, because this is a good one. I'm going to put the camera on you only, and you should have. Where is it? Okay. All right. Fine.
There will be you'll see. So anyway, all right, Tuesday night, my daughter was playing a field hockey game at Spotsylvania High School, and they won, by the way. So anyways, oh shoot, you know what? I completely forgot a whole part. Rewind. Okay, so before the game, before they won and all that good stuff, I decided I had a little bit of extra time. I was in the area by a Petco. So I decided I'm going to go to this Petco. I'm going to check out the Bettas because I like Bettas and I like to shop. So I found a beautiful Betta. She was platinum. Her fins were like a pinkish, just yeah, I mean, beautiful. I mean, she was just she's the most beautiful Betta I ever seen. And I said, I gotta have her. I will find a way to make it work, get another tank, do whatever I gotta do because I want her. So I decided to take her. The game, is only 2 hours. It was like 78, 79 degrees. So I was like, it's perfect weather. I can keep her in the car, crack the windows, everything will be fine. So I stick her in the back seat. I secure her so that she's nice and, secure in the back like a child, because that's just how I treat them. And I went to the game. After they win the game, we start going home. I go past, or I'm starting to go through a light. It's green. And obviously the other side is probably green as well. And they have like a turning lane where you should yield unless you have a green light. So I'm very aware of my surroundings because I'm always scared I'm gonna hit an animal.
She drives like a grandma.
I'm just scared an animal's gonna jump out in front of me, a cat in particular, and I don't wanna hit anything. So I do drive slow. Thank God I was driving slow enough to slam on my brakes because this person started to just turn into me. And my daughter's in the car and I'm like freaking out and I slam on the brakes. I go, I'm like, oh, F word. And anyway, get my breath. And I didn't beep the horn or anything. I should have done a lot more, but I was just thankful that we were okay. And I start going down the road. A minute or so goes by. I'm like, crap, Kenzie, can you check on the Betta? So she turns around, she looks. The cup is not secure anymore. It had gone through the air at some point and was flipped over. No water in it, no Betta in it. So at this point, I'm on a back road. It's dark. I'm trying to figure out where to pull over so that I don't get in somebody attack me or something on the side of the road. Put on my hazard lights and I start looking for a place and I finally find a somewhat decent place, at least enough. And I get out, go around on the passenger side so I don't get hit in case a car comes by randomly. And I start looking and looking. I cannot find this Betta, and I'm just freaking out. And I'm like, I need light. I need more light. So my daughter gave me her light from her phone, and I start looking here and there. And I look underneath of my seat, and there's a Betta just laying there. And I'm like, oh, the Betta's there. So I stick my hand under, and I go to pick her up, and she starts flopping all over the place. I'm like, oh, thank God. And finally, I get the little thing in my hand. Kenzie's grabbing her water bottle. She has this much water left in it from the game. she's pouring it in the cup. I'm putting the beta in the cup, stick the lid on it, and she just starts swimming around like nothing. Like nothing. She's perfectly fine. She's doing amazing. So, yeah. I named her Gato. That means cat. It does. So, Gato's doing good. But that's my story. It's amazing. That fish lived out of water on a dirty floorboard for
Believe me, it's dirty.
at least 10 minutes, and she survived. So that's a special fish. I originally was going to get her because I kind of thought about doing another beta sorority, but you know what? She needs her very own tank. So that's my story. It's a little crazy, but yeah, there it is.
Yeah. I got to hear that story last night immediately after it happened, and she's holding the beta in front of me like, look, isn't she gorgeous? And I'm like, yeah, she's a gorgeous fish. About the only story that we have that's crazier than that is that pleco that was out and bone dry, and we put it back in the tank and it was fine. At the shop. I mean, that was, but it's much more dramatic when you're talking about it's in the car and you almost got in a car accident and the fish goes flying through the car. And thankfully, Kenzie had a water bottle.
I'm so
that
glad.
you could put the water in there, and it wasn't ice cold. It was normal room temperature or whatever.
I'm glad it was, good weather. It wasn't 95 degrees, because then I wouldn't have even got the beta to begin with. But everything just worked out perfect.
We got lucky there.
I mean, this is the thing. I wasn't going to stop looking for that beta until I found it, because there's no way I was going to leave it there, even if it had, died in the accident, because it was a major traumatizing accident for that beta, to go flying through the air in a car. Can you even imagine? That's pretty crazy. So
yeah, it would have smelled real nice in there. It probably would have smelled better than it actually does smell in there already.
Well, shut up.
Because of the
Kenzie's
sweaty,
stinky
athletic,
feet.
junky blah, stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you should not name that fish Gato. I think you should name it Lucky. Or do we already have a Lucky? Who knows?
But I like cats too, so it's a fish and a cat name and Gato.
Yeah. All right. So now that your fun story is over, I guess it's time for me to tell mine, right?
Okay.
Now, I have to set this up the way it was. So we were talking the other day. I don't know, it was over the weekend. And it might have been the same time we were nursing this Severum. We were talking about how someday, who knows when, someday we're no longer going to have people living in our basement. And we're going to want to move all of this down there. And we're going to want to expand things and, grow the hobby and all this kind of stuff. And then the old, what would you do if conversation happened. And it was kind of like the conversation that every single person in this chat has had. You've had the what if you won the lottery conversation. Everybody's had that. It's a wonderful conversation to have. This was a conversation that was kind of like that, but it was, what would you do if you could do anything fish related? Anything in the fish keeping hobby. You could do whatever you wanted to do. Will Smith comes out of the lantern, or Robin Williams comes out of the lantern and says, you can do whatever you want to do as long as it's involving fish keeping. What do you want to do? Mm-hmm. And so we started talking about those things that we would do. And it was fun. I mean, we had a fun conversation about it. I don't remember exactly what you said because I got so deep
I'd
into...
open up a cat rescue for my fish.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I started going on...
Because you said it has to be fish related.
About what I would do. And I'm going to explain what I would do because it was fun. And after we had that conversation, you left. You had to go somewhere, the antique store or whatever it was that you had to do.
That's where I got my clown.
And then, yeah. And then I decided I was watching the baseball game. Might have even been watching football. I don't know. I don't really care about football anymore. That's what happens when you're a Redskins fan.
Rena's in the trash.
So I had my tablet in my lap because I'm not fortunate enough to have a laptop yet, although I desperately need one. I've got my tablet in my lap, and my tablet has a keyboard on it. I've got the chat on here right now, but it's an iPad that I got the keyboard for. This was a gift for my birthday from Marie. Wonderful gift. I write all of the 10 Things episodes on there and everything. It's beautiful. Well, I'm sitting there, and I decide, you know what? For fun, I'm going to put down my thoughts.
Oh, yeah, you wrote a story.
I did, and I'm not going to read
It
that.
was so cute.
I didn't write a story, but I wrote...
It took a while for me to read it. It was a story.
Well, it was lengthy, but it was basically like I had fun with this conversation that we had, and I just decided I'm going to put those thoughts down because I don't want to forget them. I mean, someday, you never know, this fantasy might actually become a reality. We hit the lottery, or somebody... I saw somebody say hello from Dubai. You know, some sheikh from Dubai that loves fish just messages me and says, hey, I'd like to give you this money to... Anyway, we're fantasizing, right? So I wrote this thing down, and then you got home and I had you read it, and you loved it, and you said that we should talk about it here on the stream. So here we are. I'm not going to read what I wrote because it's just my thoughts. It's not really like a professionally written thing. I'm just going to tell you what it was. So now keep in mind, this is... when I play the what if game, I like to keep it realistic, okay? If you want to have the conversation of, oh, what if you won the Powerball and you won $300 million and you could literally do anything in the world that you want, that's a different conversation. I like to have a more of a realistic thing. Like, this could actually happen, what I'm about to say. It could happen.
Yeah.
We would have to find a bunch of money.
You don't have to get... You wouldn't have to win the lotto.
No, not even close. I mean, but it would be a lot of money to do what I'm talking about doing. But it's possible. I mean, it's very possible. So let's get into it. This fantasy would involve a building. Shocker. Not a building on our property. I love what Joey did. I love what Corey has in his backyard. That would be amazing to have that. But this is fantasy talk here. And the building that I would need to fulfill this fantasy would be probably a minimum of 5,000 to 6,000 square feet. It'd be big. And we've got a big yard, but I don't want our entire yard to look like an industrial park, which is what it would look like because it would be a massive building that would be back there. So this would involve securing a building somewhere, a large building. For the sake of conversation, let's say 5,000 square feet, because we're having fun here, right? It's a fantasy. So you secure this building. This building is going to serve 4.5 purposes. Because after you read my manifesto, is manifesto a bad thing? I don't know. But after you read my thing that I wrote, you brought up another suggestion for what this building could be used for. Mm-hmm. It would not be set up specifically for this, so we'll call that a half. It's 4.5 purposes. The first purpose that this building would be used for would be a fish hatchery / online retail facility. Okay, this is the most boring part of the whole thing, folks. Trust me.
That is totally all you too, because I will never do that again. Nope.
What
as
I'm
far
talking
as mailing fish, I will breed fish all day long, but I will not go to no post office.
Well, see, this is a fantasy conversation, so we're going to have people to help us.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine.
So, basically, going back to what started this whole thing for us: breeding fish, raising fry, selling those fry. But we would bring fish in too, because we can't breed everything. So we'd bring in a lot of fish too. Kind of what Bob's doing right now. Kind of similar. Except it would be large. It'd be big. couple hundred tanks would be involved in this. And we'd be breeding, we'd be raising fry, but we'd also be bringing in other fish and quarantining them and doing it right and then selling those fish too. This would be 100% online, and it would not only be fish, but it would also be plants, and it would also be dry goods and aquarium supplies and all those kind of things. All the things that we wanted KG Tropicals to be back then is what it would be. So we've got that aspect of this building, that purpose of this building, which of course would be an income earning thing here. I get asked the question all the time, are you ever going to go full time on YouTube? And my answer to that is I don't know, because I will never rely 100% on YouTube AdSense revenue to pay my bills. I will never do that.
No.
Even if I was making, 40 grand a month off of YouTube, I would not trust that enough. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. So there's going to have to be something else. Right now, that something else is my furniture repair business, which I'm starting to really hate. But anyway, so we need income, and so there would be that. That would be one of the ways that we would generate an income outside of YouTube. The second purpose for this building, which would be a space in the building probably similar in size to this one, but we would have that all gone and probably have a few more big tanks, planted tanks, whatever. But they'd be bigger tanks, so that this room would be a dedicated showplace / table in the middle of the room for Tank Talk Live, just like this.
And a pond.
Well, not in that room, but that would be a dedicated studio space for creating YouTube content, which would be another income earning segment of this building. Now, of course, I would make videos all over. I'm talking about this thing like we're setting it up next week. This is total fantasy talk here, folks. But I would do videos everywhere, because we'd be doing videos on breeding the fish and the fish that we're, raising up and all of this kind of stuff. Our new inventory that we've got in and stuff, all those videos would come out. So there would be content created all over, but
And
that would
kitties.
be and cats. But that would be the dedicated studio space. So there's the second purpose for this building. The third purpose is the one that I would be really excited about, because what I would do with this third section of the building is I would combine the two hobbies that I've had the longest in my life and the two that are the most important to me, which are woodworking and fish keeping. And I would start a shop manufacturing custom aquarium furniture. Now, I'm not talking about just your standard aquarium stands. I'm talking about high-end furniture that would house aquariums. Aquariums would be set on top of them. Not your standard melamine or, junk that you can go, which we own. We've got one right there. We've got one in the other room. The cheap $99 Petco or PetSmart branded stands. We're talking about real high-end pieces that are not bargain basement. These are one-off pieces that I would manufacture in that facility, and we would start with those two tanks right there and make these things to order for customers. There would be some that are just made and they're for sale for a lot of money, or people can say,
A lot of money.
hey, my time is valuable. Or people could say, hey, I want this, and I want it this type of wood, this color. I want the doors in this style. I want the top to be this thick. I want it to be this dimension. And we make it that way, kind of like I did with the doors for the Lindsays. So that would be the opportunity for me to take the two things that I am the most passionate about and combine them into one aspect of this business, which that has me so excited to do that. and start immediately dealing with the people. Oh my God, they're so expensive. That would start day one, because we're not talking about $199 aquarium stands. We're talking about stands that would cost several $1,000s, because I'm not going to build them like some kind of joke. These things are going to look, these things would complement the room that they're in, rather than looking like a bargain basement box made out of particle board. Okay? I have a lot of confidence in my woodworking skills, so I could make some amazing aquarium stands. So we've got a fish store / online retailer / hatchery. We've got a dedicated YouTube space, and why am I holding up 5 fingers? And we've got a custom woodworking shop in there. Obviously, these are all not connected. I'm not going to be blowing sawdust into the aquariums. It would be its own little section, but it would be a custom aquarium furniture company along with those other 2 things. And then we get to the 4th thing. The 4th aspect of this facility, and then we'll get to the 4.5 one. Is that a word?
Half.
4.5.
Half
The 4th aspect of this building would be
the cat rescue.
no, shut up. It would be the passion project. Your cats can be behind the building.
I hope I win a separate lottery.
We could build the building behind this house for the cat rescue, because that can be smaller. See, there you go.
Okay, just continue with yours.
There you go.
fantasy story.
That's perfect. And then the cats are home, so there you go. So the 4th aspect would be the passion project. That would be the thing that you and I would both put our hearts into, and it would be a joy to be able to do this, which would be to take inspiration from Big Rich and the folks up there in Ohio and dedicate a portion of this facility to extremely large ponds, aquariums, whatever we can get that holds a lot of water, to actually do our own fish rescue.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And we could even fulfill one of your fantasies, build a bank of tanks, little 5 gallons, and do a beta rescue, which would be fun.
That would be perfect.
But a completely not-for-profit thing, something that people could donate to, I suppose, if they wanted to. But it would basically be one of those things where everything else, the store, the YouTube space, the furniture shop, all of that would finance the rescue. So it would be one of those things that we're not trying to make money off of it, obviously, but everything else would kind of fund that rescue. And then hopefully, we would get support from you too. But of
But
course,
we won the lottery. We don't need their support.
that's true. But of course, day one, it would start to immediately fill up with red-tailed catfish, tiger shovelnose, plecos, giant gouramis. They would all start coming in. They'd be the first thing to dominate the rescue, just like any other rescue would. But that's okay, because that would be something that I would feel like. Here's the thing, okay? When I think about Pacu too, yeah, that's a good one, Ruth Miller. We'd see a lot of those too. I think about, from a hobby development thing, we would, please understand, folks, if you've just signed on, we're doing fantasy talk here. I am not doing this unless we win the lottery over the weekend. This is not something that we're doing.
Yeah, somebody's going to come in like 3 minutes ago and think we're doing all this. Like, oh my God, did you hear what KG Tropicals is doing next week?
Exactly, yeah. But we would be able to do everything from talking about breeding fish, raising fry, taking care of fish, normal fish keeping 101 stuff, all the way up to the proper care for monster fish and rescuing betas and all of that. What aspect of this hobby would we not be able to cover on YouTube? And that's one of the things that gets me the most excited about it, because as a content creator, you're always processing what that next video is going to be. There would never be an issue with coming up with content there. I mean, good Lord, we would
Well,
have everything right there.
Cats. John.
Everything
I saw,
goes to cats.
I saw a video where somebody got like thousands and thousands and thousands of views just because they changed kitty litter. I could change kitty litter.
Well, why aren't you doing it? No, that came out wrong. Why aren't you doing it on video then? She does change the cat litter boxes. Don't worry about that. But when I think of this, I get that same feeling that you would have if you're having the what if I won the lottery and you buy the big house and you buy the Rolls Royce, which I would never buy, but everybody's had that conversation and you feel good. It makes you feel good. It gives you hope that someday you might be able to do these fun things with your life. If we won the Powerball tomorrow, we would just pay this house off. We wouldn't move from this house. I don't think we would. We'd be building a bunch of buildings in the backyard.
We'd be buying the house next door, behind us.
Yeah. I don't think we'd be buying the big mansion and all that kind of stuff. And I definitely wouldn't buy a Rolls Royce. Maybe a Lamborghini, but we'll have to see. We'll see what things are like then. Depends on how much garage space I have. But anyway, to go back to reality here, what could be someday reality, it makes me feel just warm and fuzzy to think about that, to think about all the things that we could do in a building like that. And there you go. I mean, that's my fantasy of what I would do. I would have a large building that would encompass all these different aspects of what I do. And we didn't even talk about the 4.5 one. I'm making myself look like a total idiot talking about 4.5. Multi-Tank Addiction came in with the Powerball fund, just throwing more money at us. And Brenda Schroeder threw $2 at us for no reason. Just, I don't have anything to say. I just want to give you money. So thank you both for that. Okay, sorry. The fifth aspect, we'll have some fun, call it the fifth aspect, was your idea, which would be to start our own, not KG Tropicals club, but start our own local club here and use that facility to have monthly or whatever meetings for that club. So, and I think that's a great idea, and I'm sure we'd have the space for it. It'd be no problem. So I'm thinking this whole endeavor, probably about $250,000 to set up something like this, because we'd be starting from scratch. So we got to start buying those lottery tickets now.
Well, Brenda Schroeder said the $2 super chat is for me to buy me a lottery ticket.
Oh.
Thank you.
Well, you better get on that.
Well, because I'll start the cat rescue, and I might help you fund your fish stuff.
You never know.
Just kidding. I'm totally into it as well. But
We can always hope.
I just like the cat stuff as well.
I'm still waiting on that email from the royal family in Dubai. There's got to be somebody in Dubai that loves fish, and they're like, hey, we want to give you money because we have more money. We can wipe our butts with our money. We can build RVs that look like a globe. I'm not making that up. That's real. I mean, they do crazy things in Dubai because they have so much money. They're like, we got to spend it on something. Let's build an RV that looks like a globe. If you don't believe me, look it up. It's there. It's on YouTube. One of the sheikhs had a globe on wheels. It drives around. It's a globe.
Well, I mean, I guess the point is, before anything could come from this, you got to think it.
Well, I've thought it, so that part's done.
Plan it, and then just start trying to save up and do it. You don't always have to get everything all at once. You can do little things at a time.
I mean, I could continue working my other job, which, I mean, I fully intend to, and keep doing YouTube. We just save everything. It'd take about 5 years. We could save up enough to do it.
Oh, wow. Kaler's Aquatics. I'm the shelter director of a small dog and cat rescue shelter, not for profit, all volunteer, 20 years now. That is awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah,
I
we got
like
5
that.
people that live in this
like
house
that.
for free that would be volunteers for that. I'd buy a 1986 Ferrari Testarossa after I have my Betta farm. I'm sorry, I don't know that word. I think I'm going to meet you in AquaShella, Mahachai Betta Fish Farm. Let me tell you something. 86 Ferrari Testarossa. The only thing that you could have said that would have made that better is if it was white, just like the one on Miami Vice. Yes, I am all in. That's one of my all-time favorite cars. I thought I saw something said in here that I wanted to respond to. Not that was bad or anything like that, but yeah, the Testarossa, I am all in on that. It was somebody asked about AquaShella. Should you buy tickets? Do I need tickets if I want to go to AquaShella? Yes, you do. And I would buy them now because you don't want to have what happened to so many people in Dallas that just weren't even allowed in because they got to full occupancy and there was nothing they could do. They had to turn people away at the door. I wasn't there, but I saw all the YouTube videos about it.
Can you imagine spending money on tickets or like plane tickets or driving really far to get there just to be turned away?
That would be brutal. So yeah, get your tickets now. You can go to their website, aquashella.com, I think is what it is, and order them right now. Just pre-buy the tickets. That way you don't have to worry about it. I have a feeling, I mean, this show has been hyped way more than any other show. Maybe the saltwater guys with Macna, maybe they promote that more, but I've never seen a show get promoted the way this one is, and good for them. I mean, it should be that way. And you know what? They're doing amazing things. I can't wait to go there. I can't wait to. I'd love to know in the chat. I'd love to have the people that are still in here. Wow, My Fantasy lost us a lot of viewers. That's unfortunate. People don't want to hear about My Fantasies.
Maybe they want to hear about my fantasy.
It only talks. It only has to be that one member of the royal family from Dubai. It just has to be that one. Okay. And of the 269 people that are in here, maybe he's one of them.
You never know.
But anyway, I would love to hear in the chat who is going to AquaShella and who is not. Well, if you're not going, you don't have to say anything. But I'd love to know who's going to be there because there was a Facebook group for the Aquatic Experience last year that had like a list of everybody that was going to be there. I don't think that list exists for this year for AquaShella. Like earlier, I didn't know that that Priscilla was going to be there. I figured she was because I think she goes to all the shows. But Aquarium Junkie RC, if you win, you got to fly me out to do a video of yours and my channel. There you go. Hey, I mean, I'll fly everybody out. Everybody that's in this chat right now, I will fly you all. I don't care where you live. We'll fly you all here if we either win that lottery or we get that money from that sheikh in Dubai. One of the two. Everybody that's in here, fly you all out here. Come hang out. We'll have some hamburgers and hot dogs, and we'll eat American style. Okay, so let me go here. River Life is going. Susie Q is not. I thought she was going. I thought you were going. We're going to see you in New Jersey, though.
Wait, what? Wait, who's going?
Q Aquatics is not going.
River
Life is.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is Angela going?
No.
Oh.
She's not. Laura Barron is going. Lisa, schools, courts, etc. require service hours at nonprofits. They help argument and train regular staffing. Jeff Rose is in here tonight, and that's good to see because he's been gone for a long time. Glad to have you here, my friend. Ginger Graves will be there. B. Mowdy. I went to Dallas. I wish I could go to Chicago too. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm going to Aquatic Experience. Elizabeth Welch. Well, we will see you there for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, the chat skipped like it always does. Okay, so I totally lost it. I'm 45 minutes away, but okay, fly me out. She's 45 minutes from us. We don't need to fly you. We'll send a car for you. Uber. We'll Uber you here. JH Aquatics is going to be there. That's exciting. Can't wait to see him again. Let me keep on going here. You win the lottery before getting money from Dubai, so I'm hopeful. Yeah, Trust me, the money from Dubai thing is we're having fantasy talk here. Come on. Who is really going to be like, you know what, that guy in Virginia and that girl, they're doing some good stuff. Let's give them a bunch of money. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
Dave Diaz says yes. Not sure if that means he will be there. Cichlid Central says me too. AquaShella no. Aquatic Experience yes. Okay, I'm not going to go through all this because that's what I hate the most is when people do nothing but read chat. Denny's Aquatics will be there. That is cool. Now listen, folks. I'm going to apologize ahead of time.
Do you want me to say a joke first?
No.
I have one.
Well, okay, go ahead.
How do you wake up Lady Gaga? Anybody? How do you wake up Lady Gaga? Poker face. I heard that and that was so funny. Okay.
This is what I deal with on a daily basis. I want to apologize. Somebody said in their poker face, that's funny. There are going to be people, okay? There are going to be people. You wait. You will see this. It will happen, and it'll happen to you too. There's going to be people that are going to come up to us at AquaShella, and they're going to be like, hey, and it's going to be one of those things where we should know who they are, but we have absolutely no clue who they are. Like, there's thousands of channels out there, folks, and there's no way for us to watch all of them. I had that happen at the Aquatic Experience where somebody would be like, hey, yeah, I'm from whatever Cichlid's USA channel. And I'm like, oh, yeah, cool, nice to meet you. I have no idea who the person is. It happens all the time. There's no way I could possibly remember everyone, and I haven't seen every video that's ever been made on YouTube. There are going to be the obvious ones that I am going to know because we've met them before. JH, obviously we're going to know who that goofball is. Priscilla, we're going to remember her because she's a doll. Who else? Rack. It might be difficult to recognize Rack. We only saw him 2 weeks ago. But there's going to be a lot of people, like, for example, Denny's Aquatics, great guy. He's always supportive. He's always in the chats. The guy could walk in the room right now. I would call the cops because I would have no idea who he is. I don't know what he looks like. I see the creepy avatar that he's got up there, which is like a close-up of his face. I don't know what that guy looks like. He comes up to me at AquaShella. I'm going to look like a jerk because he's going to be like, you don't know who I am? It's Denny's Aquatics. And I'm going to look like an idiot. Don't be mad at me, folks, if that were to happen. I try to be the channel that supports smaller channels more than any other channels out there. It is something that I take pride in, and I try so hard to do that, but it is impossible for me to know everybody. So please don't be offended if you come up to me. I'm going to be honest, Candy Overhauls could probably walk up to me. I wouldn't know it was her.
Oh, you better stop.
I would know who Caleb is.
You better stop.
I don't know that I would recognize her.
Oh, I would. No doubt.
I'm not on Facebook. So I don't, if
You
she,
don't have to be on Facebook. You got 2 eyes.
you see how little that picture is? I
Yeah.
see her face in that
That's-
picture. That's
that's
all I
Candy.
see. I've
That's
been looking at that
Candy.
picture for 4 years.
That's Candy.
That's all I know.
And if she walks up, she's going to look like that.
The fish tank barn comes in with the AquaShella ice cream fund. And of course I will recognize Mike. We're going to do something different this time when we go to
You
AquaShella.
hurt Candy's feelings. She said bye.
Candy, don't have your feelings hurt because you know you're my favorite person in the world. I wouldn't be rude about it. I would just be like, "Oh, you're Candy," because I've never even seen a real picture of her. I haven't. I'm not on Facebook. She better not have left.
She left. It's all your
She
fault.
didn't leave.
Gosh, I'm going to have to send her a letter and tell her how sorry I am about you and how rude you are, and I can't even take you in public.
We are both planning on doing things. I'm waiting to see her name pop up again. She better not have left because I'm gonna have
gone.
words with her if she really left.
Oh, now whose feelings are hurt?
I'm the guy that made Candy Overhauls mad and leave the chat.
You're the
But
one.
we have both said we don't want to hang out at the YouTube booth the whole time. We've both said that. You're looking down there too, waiting to see when she pops up. And you know what's happening? She's like this right now. She's like, Stacy, come here, look at this. Caleb, come here, look. Look at them. So
You deserve it.
I didn't say anything bad about her. I just said I wouldn't recognize her. I wouldn't. So we've both said we don't want to hang out at the YouTube booth the whole time. We want to walk around. I don't want to
I didn't do it last time.
I don't want to have happened to me what happened with the aquatic experience. I've got, like, even Rack, people are saying, like, did you see that thing? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. There are so many things that I missed at the aquatic experience that I don't want to miss at AquaShella. So that is that's our plan. That doesn't mean we're not going to be at the YouTube booth. Of course we will, but I know that they're going to ask us to do a specific time at the booth. I don't know how much time that's going to be, but it's like certain hours that we will actually be there for so people know that we'll be there.
I'm walking around.
But you're part of Cage Tropicals. If Sean says, hey, we need y'all there from 2 to 4.
You better be ready to sit there.
I will, and so will you.
And I'll walk around.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, Candy. You've done this long enough. Knock it off now. This is getting to be a little ridiculous. You know what? I'm willing to sacrifice the chat.
Candy come back fun.
We're gonna. I was gonna say we're just gonna stop talking until Candy says something in the chat. But anyway, yeah, John is honest. Nobody should be offended. He's the nicest person ever. Hey, let's not get carried away there. We are gonna meet you there, right? You're gonna be Jay's Betta's. Are you gonna be one of those people that's gonna yell at me for saying Betta and not Betta? I hope not. But really wanting to go to AquaShella. Yeah, you know what? Like I said, this show has gotten so much hype. I mean, just look at what happened in Dallas. People couldn't go in. Every single person did videos. Every single one of them showed that long line, and the wave is going down the line, and Jay Wilson's running down the line and falls on his face, and there she is. You are a Candy.
You are a Candy. You Candy.
I sat at the table for the whole day Saturday in Dallas. Yeah, see, I don't want to do that, Chris. All due respect. I don't want to do that because I want to be out. I want to be out with the people. Believe me, I can sit and talk YouTube all day long, and I would love it. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to do it. It's like I'm in Chicago. I flew here. Somebody paid for us to come here. I don't want to just sit there the whole time.
That's why I'm walking around.
That's what I'm saying. I want to do too.
Mm-hmm. I might not even talk to you the entire weekend. We'll end up meeting up at the hotel and be like, hey,
can we go every weekend?
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Oh, you know that's not true. I'm going to be right there with you, and we're going to be holding hands like we love each other. Oh, that's funny.
I want to meet you, John, but Lisa scares me.
Why would they be barking at 10:30 at night?
I don't know.
Trust me, Jay's beta room. There's a lot of things to be scared of. She will bite your head off.
I will not.
No, she absolutely will not. But yeah, I want to be out and about, and I want to mingle around. I don't want to sit at the booth all day. But if they want me there at a particular time, us there, then I'll do that, of course. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't even been asked about any of the extra event type things, so I don't even know if that's going to be a thing. But
Priscilla said you're sassy. That's so funny.
Hey, you know, I'm not even sure. Is that an insult, or is that
sassy? I like it.
Because I always thought that was like a girly thing.
Well,
I'm everything but girly.
Maybe she thinks you cry a lot or something. I
Maybe
don't
that's
know.
what it is. That could be it. I don't know. But yeah, I plan on having I plan on being around the whole time and having fun and exploring. And we didn't do video shout outs today.
Oh,
And I'm going to shout out somebody today. Did you have one?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shout out someone that I have not seen in the chat.
I even sent it to you so you could put the link in.
No, you did not.
I did.
Oh, but you can't send me a screenshot of, no, you can't do that. So you're just going to have to do it. Hers is not in the description, but mine is. I am going to shout out a guy that should have been shouted out a long time ago. Because this is a guy that has basically taken over the Tank Talk Facebook group like a champ, puts up posts every single day, daily topics. And not only that, he has done one of my absolute favorite fish keeping YouTube videos on the entire platform. And that is the video that I have linked in the description, which is basically a recreation of the printer scene in The Office, which is priceless. It is one of my favorite videos that's ever been made. It's genius. And we're talking about Kevin Green. No, he did not steal. He's KG Cichlids, and he's not affiliated with us. His name's Kevin Green. I wonder where the KG came from. A lot of people get him confused with us. I'll be watching the chat in people's streams, and he'll comment something, and then people will say, "Hi, John." It's kind of funny. And he's like, "I'm not John." But that's a good dude right there. He has been with us almost from the beginning.
Yes.
And he's probably working right now, which is unfortunate that he's not here to hear me say this. Maybe he'll watch the replay all the way through to the hour and a half mark.
Don't worry. I know who you are.
Who?
Pam. She said, I don't think John has any idea who I am. I know who you are.
Who? Which one?
54 Punchy.
Oh, well, but I won't know what she looks like. I'll
Okay.
watch her videos before we go to AquaShella to make sure. I'm a jerk. I'm sorry. I get so many people confused. It's a compliment, John. It's a compliment. Oh, sassy is a compliment? Okay, I didn't know. I mean, I wasn't offended. Don't worry. I bet it's one of your live streams, Pam. Yeah, I mean, I'm a bad person when it comes to knowing who everybody is, and I am ashamed of it. But the reality is I work way too much, and I can't watch every video that's ever been done. I have probably seen 54 Punchy's videos. I'm not putting it together. Of course, I see her name in here all the time, and I'm well aware of who she is, but I can't put a face to it right now. So don't be mad at me, please. I don't want anybody to be mad at me.
Sassy.
I'm just
Priscilla,
sassy.
he's being sassy.
That's right.
Okay, so mine isn't fish related. It's
Why do you
not.
always do that?
It's not a fish related channel. It's called the Critter Club with a K. Critter Club. Both of them start with K. It's not in English. I always have to read, the words because I can't understand what they're saying. But I like it a lot. They got so many good videos. Like yesterday's video was saving a cat that was stranded on top of an apartment building, and they just show you everything about saving the cat. But anyways, it's not just cats, they do dogs and stuff too. But I could just watch their videos every day, not even having to hear it, just reading the words, because they do such amazing things and they help animals, and I like it. And I think other people should watch it and read it too.
So 54 Punchy says, I'm not mad. I just know that John doesn't have a clue who I am. I just have a small channel. You see, there are a lot of people that would tell you that when it comes to me, the channel size means nothing. Here come all the size matter jokes. But I have friends that have a couple hundred subscribers. I've got friends that have hundreds of thousands. That means nothing to me. I'm not someone that only associates with bigger channels. Trust me, that's not it. It's just, I just have way too many things going through this head, and I'm not able to keep it all in there. It has to go somewhere. And so I don't remember every single person, and I'm sorry. But will we be seeing you there at AquaShella? Because if we are going to see you there, then I'm going to have to make sure I know who you are.
B. Maddie says, just make it less confusing and change KG to Sassy Tropicals.
That's good.
I love it.
There was somebody that commented, I think I was in another stream, and I was commenting, and they were saying like, oh, what was it? It was like, I said to this person, I look forward to meeting you there, and they responded back like, well, yeah, we met last year at Aquatic Experience, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't remember who you were.
Wow.
It's impossible. There's so many names that it's impossible. I recognize names, but it's impossible to recognize every single face.
Sassy Jerk John.
Who said that?
No, I did.
Oh. Chris says, I can vouch for John. Chris, you don't have to attach money to every single one, my friend. You can say it, and I will read it, and it doesn't have to be that way. He says, all my comments are $2. I mean, I'm not going to tell you can't do it, but I'm just saying it's not necessary. We like you. You're good. Let's see. If you meet me, you won't forget me. I'm sassy AF. That's funny. I guess if I do meet you, then at least I'll know what sassy means. Me neither, Pam. I am lucky to get around the house. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Chewy is one of those. See, Chewy's another one. He could walk in this room, you wouldn't know that was him.
No, we wouldn't.
So that's what I'm saying. I can't feel bad about it. I mean, Chewy is a guy, I feel like I know him. And he could walk in the room right now. And like, who are you? Get out of my house. Are you crazy?
For people that like comment on YouTube and stuff, if they're going to AquaShella, they should have a name tag that is their name on YouTube. Oh, they do?
They will, yeah.
Oh.
Rob actually messaged me yesterday asking, remember, because he was asking if your last name was Hudson?
Oh, but well, I meant like everybody that comes in.
I think the YouTubers will.
I don't mean just YouTubers, people that make comments, John. My point is people that make comments.
Well, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure everybody fills out their own name tag. So they could write whatever their name is.
Okay.
And you should. If you're somebody that is a regular contributor on YouTube, even if all you're doing is contributing comments, that's being a part of the community. You should absolutely write what your name is on your tag if you're going to be there.
Priscilla, you're so sweet.
Met a lot of YouTuber and people out of the community. Lisa and John are the best.
You see, she said Lisa first.
That's
she said
being
Lisa before John.
That's a bit much. Come on now. We try to be nice to everybody, but it's hard sometimes. But it's not hard to be nice to YouTubers.
Priscilla is one of my favorites. So
Priscilla's awesome. Yeah. She was so much fun. And
she asked me for my autograph. The only person that has ever asked me for my autograph. I was like, me? What?
That's adorable.
Okay.
You're a superstar. Yeah, Chris, we don't want you to run out of funds, so stop with the super chats. It's very generous of you, but we don't need you to go hungry. You got to keep buying those fancy coffees and all that stuff that you drink. So why don't you guys like pigs, cows, chickens, so many fish? Why aren't you vegan? Because being a vegan is hard.
What's that noise?
That was the cat.
Huh.
I was a vegetarian for 2 or 3 years, and I had to stop because I wasn't good with getting everything I needed. I wasn't willing to take all the supplements and all that garbage. So
and I'm glad because I had to make 2 different meals.
Yeah, you still pretty much do. You make one for you and one for everybody else. But anyway, so yeah, you know what? If you're going to be at AquaShella or if you're going to be at the Aquatic Experiences, which is like 2 weeks later, I mean, we're not going to have a weekend off for forever. Make sure you come find us and you say hi, because and don't be offended if I don't know who you are.
Most likely, I will know who you are.
It's one of those things, of course, if you tell me, I'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen you in there, but I'm not going to recognize everybody's face. That happens so many times at the aquatic experience. Like, hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm from, Mad Cichlids. I'm like, oh, okay. And I would remember then, but yeah. Come up and say hi. You might have to walk around a little bit to find us because I'm going to try my best to not sit at the booth all day long. I know a lot of people like to do that, and that's cool. That's fine. The way I looked at it at the aquatic experience was as long as I can make my rounds one time at least and get to see everything, then I'm okay, and then I can hang out at the YouTube booth. But I didn't get to see everything. There was so much that I missed, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen this time. It's, I don't want to miss anything this time. So I'm going to make sure I get through the whole thing. So I love you, John, accept it. That's funny. Well, you know what? I love everybody. That's the way I try to do it. Maybe not when the microphone's on, but when the microphone's on, I try to be that way. So, you want to close this thing out? You ready? It's 10:38. I don't know that we have anything else to talk about. John, you see Yelich got hurt. That sucks. Yeah, it sucks if you're a Brewers fan, but I can't say it sucks being a Nats fan because he's the best player in the world not named Mike Trout. I was at the game that went to 14 innings and he hit a homer on us in like the 12th inning, that jerk. No, he's a great player. I was sad to see that. I'm always sad to see players get hurt. That's unfortunate, especially a player at any level, but when you're the reigning MVP and you break your kneecap,
that sucks.
That's painful. So anyway, I believe I'm pretty much done now. I got to work tomorrow, so I got to go to bed early.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. Kids get out of school early tomorrow, though. That doesn't make it any better, but yeah.
Don't you think it would be...
I don't know where I was going with that one.
Don't you think it would be so much more effective for them to go in 4 hours later?
Yes.
Because do the half day the second half so that they get to sleep more because these kids don't get to sleep.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. Anyway. So, yes, this has been a lot of fun talking fantasies, talking fish death, talking car accidents.
No, it wasn't fun talking about fish death.
I was being sarcastic and talking about fish surviving car accidents.
I can't wait to show my new Betta off to everybody. You'll get to see her soon. But yes, that's Gato. Absolutely.
So, yep, very exciting. I'm super excited about AquaShella. What do we have? Two streams left before we go. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a long weekend because it's going to be stream Thursday night.
The next 2 streams, you won't get to see my tank.
Yeah. But we're going to stream that Thursday night, then get on a plane the next day, get to Chicago at 3, go from there to the venue and help out if they need us. They might not even let us in. I don't know. Then we're going to go to a super secret excursion that I don't know if we're allowed to talk about yet. And then from there, we're going to go to Primetime Aquatics' house.
Yay!
And hang out at his fish room, and then go back to the hotel and probably lose consciousness. Mm-hmm. And then Saturday, the whole day, we will be at the event, and I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be fun.
Saturday and Sunday.
Just got to get past that plane ride, and everything will be good.
I ain't worried about it. I'm going to get a movie to watch while we're on the plane. So.
I'm going to get an anxiety pill.
All right. So this has been fun, folks. I can't even talk now. I'm so tired. I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to let you close it out.
Well, everybody have a good evening. Thank you for joining us. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait till next week. You'll only see the discus tank behind me because my super secret fish are going to be hidden from everybody for the next couple streams. But that's going to be a lot of fun, too. Don't forget, my video comes out Saturday. It's going to be all about planting my tank for my super secret fish. But anyways, have a wonderful night. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday.